gentlemen, your Lincoln Mercury dealer presents Toast of the Town, starring the nationally syndicated columnist and 1949's television father of the year, Ed Sullivan.
Here's the toast of the town, the pride and boast of the town, from classic to pop, the absolute top. For your Lincoln Mercury dealer show, go shift too high and wave your worries goodbye. We're headed for fun, so give her the gun. On your mark and set, let's go. Now your Lincoln Mercury show can start. For here's the most important part. He's your host to the toast of the town.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lincoln Mercury Toast of the Town show. And I really felt very proud that Nelson Case's announcement that I'd been named the Television Father of the Year. Really a very, very touched by it. And the reason I won, I'll tell you very quickly, is that in the finals, I was against Mel Torme and Vic Damone. The judges threw them out. They said they were much too old. They wanted a young fellow like me. Beside that, Damone never smiles, neither does Torme, and I'm smiling all the time. We have a big show lined up for you tonight. The first one is a very wonderful dancer. At least I think so. Nobody else does. And I can prove that because he's always playing the Orient. I brought him in from Karachi, India. Professional jealousy has kept him out of show business in New York. And if he makes good tonight, he doesn't have to go back to Karachi. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to really get in behind Johnny Mac. Ray, strike up the band and the show is on. Send that boy back to Karachi. I just got a booking for him in Lowe's, Constantinople. Wonderful dance, and I got to have him back on the show. Here's a youngster you know very well. You heard her in Finion's Rainbow. You heard her on records. You heard her on this show, and the volume of mail was so tremendous that we brought her back because of your request. Her name is, well, come on out here, little Kitty Callan. Little Kitty Callan. Hello, Kitty.
I've got Manhattan, the Bronx, and Staten Island, too. It's lovely going through the zoo. It's very fancy on old Delancey Street, you know. The subway charms me so, where balmy breezes blow to and fro. And tell me what street compares with Mott Street in July. Sweet push carts gently gliding by. The great big city's a wondrous toy, just made for a girl and boy. You can drive along Fifth Avenue in a Lincoln. You can wine and dine on Terrapin and snails. If you're really on a spree, you can ride the BMT from blooming Brooklyn Heights to Bloomingdale. Our kids prolific for South Pacific, we'll buy roads. I hope they live to see it close. The city's clamor can never spoil the dream of a boy. And God will turn Manhattan into an Isle of Joy.
Costumed by Leon Leonidov. Kitty, how about, what are you going to sing for your second song?
Well, Ed, I tell you, I'd like to dedicate this next song for you, but would you do
Well,
me a favor?
because I'm the television father of the year?
Yes.
Oh, it's very,
Would you
very
do
nice.
me a little favor?
Surely.
Will you pull that little side up first?
Huh?
Come on.
What?
Please do like
Smile?
that. Yes.
Yeah. All right, now I smile. What are you going to sing?
I'd like to dedicate this song to you, if
Yeah.
it weren't for the Irish.
Well, that's very good because March 17th is only 10 months away, so it's right on the button. Go on, little Kitty.
May I hear it again, please, Ray? They used to sing of Molly Malone. Of Molly Malone, they sing. And when they tired of Molly Malone, St. Mary's bells would ring. They sang an Irish lullaby called Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, Luralai. It warmed up from the start the cockles of each heart. If it weren't for the Irish, you'd have to forsake sweet Rosie O'Grady and Finnegan's Wake, and my wild Irish roses, you'd sing louder than the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder. If it weren't for the Irish, you'd lose from the start your father Shillelagh and Pegamy Hart. There would be no stew the Mulligans once made. There would be no St. Patrick's Day parade. There would be no picking shamrocks, no wearing of the green. And there'd be no one to ever take you home again, Kathleen. If it weren't for the Irish, there never would be a Johnny McCormick, a Mother McCree. When your Irish eyes are smiling, I would never if it weren't for the Irish, if it weren't for the Irish in me. If it weren't for the Irish, you'd never recall political clambakes at Tammany Hall. You would never know Al Smith in all his glory, or the leprechaun of Erin's very story. If it weren't for the Irish, there never would be a Johnny McCormick, a Mother McCree, and there wouldn't be much fun in Donegal, and no shenanigans at all, at all, at all. Pinafore and the Mikado might well have been a loss if Gilbert hadn't had a Sullivan to put it all across. If it weren't for the Irish, there never would be a Johnny McCormick, a Mother McCree. So they say that I'm a collie, I would never be one. If it weren't for the Irish and me father and me mother, if it weren't for the Irish and me sister and me brother, if it weren't for the Irish in me.
Come here and take it out. Oh, come on, let's hear it for the little girl. Now, while we're in the Irish mood, I want you to meet the man who sold Mother McCree her first Lincoln, Nelson Case.
In a distinctive setting such as this, you'll probably find one car and one car alone, a Lincoln, for Lincoln makes America's most distinctive cars. Here, for instance, is the beautiful new 1949 Lincoln Cosmopolitan Sports Sedan, truly the last word in luxury. Windows that go up and down at the touch of a finger for your convenience. Soft foam rubber cushioned seats that adjust automatically for your comfort. You know at once that this is a car that's just right for you, a car to make your own. Remember, whether you choose the new 1949 Lincoln Cosmopolitan Sports Sedan, the stunning 1949 Lincoln Cosmopolitan Convertible, or the wonderful 1949 Lincoln six-passenger coupe, in fact, any of the great new 1949 Lincolns, you can be sure that yours is a distinctive choice. So see your Lincoln dealer soon and accept his cordial invitation to inspect these magnificent new Lincoln cars. Remember, Lincoln makes America's most distinctive car.
Thank you very, very much, Nelson. Now, here's one of the great dance teams. I first saw him down in Rio de Janeiro. One of the first teams that danced, one of the first American teams down there that danced the samba. One of the first teams to bring it back here are Tini and Consuelo. So let's have a very nice hand. Prelude. Thank you very much. We have with us tonight one of the most delightful daffodils in my circle of friends. His name is Zero Mostel. You like that, huh? Well, here he is, so let's have a very big welcome for Zero Mostel.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you, Charles Dickens, for your fine introduction. Are you ready for a cultural evening? I'd like to do a very educational number for you first. My impression of a man whose name is Professor Hogarth Remorse, who is a bird lover, an ornithologist. And he comes before the Royal Ornithological Society of Great Britain once every 25 years, and he delivers of himself of a lecture, which I'm sure will interest all you good people. It's called Whither Birds. Colleagues of the Royal Academy of Ornithology, before I go into my main proper of Whither Birds, might I say how overwhelmed I am to address so august and distinguished a body. As a matter of fact, I'm glad to address anybody. And before I go into the subject at hand of Whither Birds, I may take exception to the previous speaker, Professor Block, who said that the Gehacke seine Fluten Hackgeschleutertes einen guten Bird of out New Zealand, if you's a call while mating, birds make, you know. I've noted this. Or the man I love. That is a canard. That is an untrue. I have spent some 25 years perched behind this rock in out New Zealand, watching this most peculiar of birds. And once in particular, I noticed the great male of the species flying gracefully through the air thus. Suddenly the great male looked down and noticed for the first time the female of the species. Making a huge sweep, the great male lighted at the feet of the female, the while rubbing his beak together with hers, driving the female agog, and issuing a call to note the difference of thus. Let me alone! And now to my main thesis proper of Whither Birds. What are we going to do with them? They ain't got no home. They ain't got no body. What are we going to do with them? I have interviewed countless of our fellow friends, and to a bird they have all agreed that the most practical and conclusion to this problem would be that birds, all birds, must at all times fly together, they must beat together, they must flock together, and above all at all times they must together. And now I'd like to do for my impression of Queen Victoria. Very popular in England. And now I'd like to do for a most non-realistic impression, but it does bear the seal of the Good Housekeeping magazine. My impression of the great poet, philosopher, educator, and lover, Mr. James Durant E. Flatt. I will be assisted by Ray Block and his Hussars. So I goes into this dentist's office, and there's a guy sitting in the chair. And I noticed that one side of his mouth is perfect, but on the other side I noticed that he's got one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth. So I goes up to him and I says, I don't understand. One side of your mouth is perfect, but on the other side, I noticed that you got one tooth, a half tooth, no tooth, whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth. So he said to me, it is true, Umbriago, that one side of my mouth is perfect, but that on the other side I've got didn't want to have it. So he said to me, why do I need both sides of my mouth perfect when I speak out of one side of my mouth? And they starts to strut the way. It's a fadeaway. It's a twist. Here I am again, once again. Don't raise the bridge, boys. Lower the river. So this man has beaten the child over the head. And I goes over to him and I says, stop beating that child. And he said to me, I beat him because I want him. It was logical. So I said to him, how can you beat a child that small? And he said to me, because he bothers me. I said, how can a child that small bother you? And he said to me, you see, mister, I'm an undertaker and the kid bothers me. All the time he asks me for empty boxes. And he starts to strut away. It's a fadeaway. It's a twist. Here I am. I said yes. She said no. I said yes. She said no. I said yes. She said yes. A flexible mind. So I said to this young lady, meet me 20 minutes in Hayden's Planetarium and bring loads of rye bread. When she sticks around for some 20 months, when in walks her husband, a stargazer, unannounced. Naturally, I'm a disappointed boy. So puts on my top hat, my white tie, and my tails, and they starts to strut away. It's a fadeaway. So these two cockroaches are speaking to each other. And one says to the other, I just come from a kitchen that's so disinfected, sanitary, and clean. And the other one said, please, not while I'm eating. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. In the days of vaudeville and vaudeville, I was walking along the Rue de la Poo. Heard this pretty melody and I'm singing it to you. Dick-a-doo, a dick-a-doo, a dick-a-doo. I'm carried away by the music, by the organ.
How do you like him? Hero! Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are looking in, he just let out another yell backstage. Ladies and gentlemen, out at Essex Fells Country Club out in New Jersey today, at a girl golfer, the greatest girl golfer that's ever played golf in this country or any other, Babe Didrikson. She spread-eagled her field. She won by 14 shots in one of the most amazing distancing of a field that's ever been accomplished in Major League Golf. She's here tonight, and I've got her here tonight because I promised all of you girls that you were going to get your own golf lesson from a woman star. So here she is, Mildred Babe Zacharias, better known as Babe Didrikson. Let's have a great hand. How are you, champ?
Just fine, thank you.
Let me shake the hand that shook the nation's golf. Babe, would you show him one swing, please?
I certainly
Now,
will.
she's going to
but
swing here,
you'll
so be
certainly have to
careful.
move.
I'm going to get out of your way. How do you like it? Do it again. Reminds me of my own swing. Babe, you know, I'm not in a position. I'm not in a position to explain to the girls and the women golfers who are listening in tonight what makes you such a great golfer, so I brought along a pro. Brought along my own personal pro. He's from the Westchester Country Club, and I know that out at Essex Fells tonight, about 300 of the competitors and the tournament committee are sitting around watching you on television. I'm going to bring out our pro, and he'll try to analyze your swing. Ladies and gentlemen, here's one of the great veteran pros of golf up in Westchester County. His name is Lou Costello. Was a great star in his own right, one of the greatest iron players the game ever produced. Defeated Gene Saras in one of the most thrilling matches I ever saw. Lou Costello. So let's bring Lou on with it, I say, would you please? Lou Costello. How are you, Lou? You know Miss Dickinson?
How are you, Lou? Wonderful. You had a great match today.
Thank you.
Now, Lou, suppose you, I'll hold on to the ammunition here. Suppose you give the girls, a golf lesson just as you do up in the polo field at Westchester, and explain what makes her a great golfer and what makes others bad golfers, won't you?
Right.
Lou, maybe you can show me something here.
No, babe. I was watching you swing, and what I admire in your swing mostly is a firm left hand that you grip the club with. Now, one of the secrets of golf is to grip the club in the left hand with the V pointing over to the right shoulder. Then take your right hand and close your hand so that the V also points to the right shoulder. So both hands will work together.
That goes this way
Yeah.
then, huh?
Now,
And the fingers?
right. And then over there.
That's called an overlapping grip. isn't it,
Overlapping
Lou?
grip. And if you cannot get this grip, you may as well just stay in a locker room and play gin rummy, because really, that's the thing to do.
Well, Lou, why is it funny that some of the boys use an interlocking grip?
Well, a fellow with a small hand, we have a few good golfers that do that. Gene Sarrazin and my friend Claude Harmon. Now, those boys have short fingers, and they grip the club so that they interlock with both small little fingers.
But all of us think that the overlapping grip is much better for the average golfer.
The average golfer keeps both hands working together, and it takes that right hand off the stroke a little.
Wonderful.
Lou, what about pivoting in golf? A lot of people seem to have trouble. A lot of girl players I know, and a lot of men players have trouble in pivoting.
Well, Ed, I know a wonderful thing for pivoting in golf and a wonderful thing to practice, and that's this. You put your clubs between each elbow, and you turn and point the end of the club down towards the ground. That brings everything around, moves the hip away from the swing, so you'll be clear to come through with a great hard finish. Is the only thing that ever hits the ball out there far.
Well, you know, but I had an aunt who did that, and we couldn't get her unlocked after she got in that position. Lou had a good idea on
I had a great idea.
Tell Dave your thought.
Babe, this is surefire. This is a sure cure. And I'll tell you, if they do that, if a golfer takes an imaginary barrel, it's an empty barrel, and just imagine they're in this barrel and try to pivot. And either that they'll do either one or two things. Either they'll pivot or they'll bruise their hips. So who wants to bruise their hips? So they'll pivot.
Well, couldn't you get a barrel with some, well, no, I won't. I thought you might get a filled barrel. Now, suppose you get Babe to swing there again, Lou, and show them, as she is at the top of her swing, what is the, what makes her the ideal golfer.
Well, I think she has a terrific pivot. And that's...
Here, Lou, on the other side.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
The other side.
No, let's get around this way, Dave. So you'll... Now, watch the right hip in action. Go ahead, take it slowly. That's right. That's the wind-up. Now come down slowly, babe. Go through the ball. Through. Now that is...
Show him the loose elbow.
Now, babe, you take one of the bad swings, such as you see around the country clubs, with that, what we call a loose
You really want to
flying
see
elbow.
the swing that I see around the country club?
Yes. Now, show me that. Floating elbow. This gives all the professionals trouble with their pupils.
Well,
Now,
shall
around
we show
this
the
way,
bad?
baby.
All right.
Right there. That floating elbow. That's it. Now show us the correct way, baby. That's fine. Now I have a little trick and I think it might help most golfers. Now, Babe, you let go of this club and keep your right hand there. You'll feel that it's just like holding a tray in your hand. In other words, if you ever raise that elbow, the tray goes over, and there goes the dishes. So don't raise your elbow, see?
You know, could I break in on you two stars?
Yeah.
Because I got a little boy here. He's never played golf, and I want to bring him up on the stage and have the two of you give him a lesson.
Wonderful. That's the secret.
The little boy out there, would you come up here on the stage? Where is he seated? Don, you out there? Now, this little boy's never played golf in his life, but I know he's been watching, and he's probably picked up the game in a hurry, you know. Here, this is Miss Didrikson.
How are you, Donnie?
This is Don
Nice to meet
DeCio,
you.
and this is Mr. Costello.
Oh, Donnie, how are you? Glad to know you.
I broke one of Miss Didrikson's clubs in half, so you got a club too. So everybody now's got a club. Now, would you show them your swing? Huh? Now, suppose you face right around to the audience. Or the other way, Don. Watch out below. How do you like it?
I think you have it.
I think he has the makings of a Bobby Jones.
You know, this is the little boy that all the papers used to turn around so they can look at that cute little face of yours. This is the little 7-year-old boy that the papers were all talking about the other day. He was the star of the CYO golf tournament. 7 years old. Lou, you know his father, Jerry DeCio.
Oh,
the
that's
pro
Jerry's
up at,
boy. Wow.
up at Portchester. I just wanted you to come up and show these two hackers the way to swing a club. Thank you very, very much.
You know,
Suppose you drive some up. Babe, when Frank Stranahan was on the program, he chipped some right into those red lights there. Could you and Lou take 3 apiece
Which one do you want me to hit it?
right into the red lights? Oh. Take them one at a time, alternately.
All right. Babe, you first. You have the honor.
I have a 7-iron here.
Well, not too hard now. Well, that's pretty good, babe. That's pretty close.
Come on, Lulu, we're betting on you.
There it goes, Ed. Right in.
No luck.
Come on, now let's hear it for Lou Costello. Dave Didrikson, come out here and take a bow, two of you. Great, congratulations. Lou, come on out here, take a bow. Thank you very, very much. Bye. We have some other celebrated guests in the audience tonight. One is not only a movie actor, screen actor. During the war, he won the Navy Cross. I'd like you to meet John Howard. John, would you stand up and take a bow? I'd like to see you again. Don DeFore is out there. Don DeFore, won't you stand up and take a bow? And Frankie Albertson is seated out there. Hiya, Francis. I tell you, would you 3 fellas come up here so the upstairs can take a good look at you? Huh? Well, come on, let's have some applause if they're going to come up for you. Is Babe Didrikson still here? Babe, would you come out here? Golfer, here are some golfers.
Uh-huh.
And now while I have them trapped, oh, Lord, I forgot something. Always forget something. While I have them trapped up here on the stage, I'm going to call out His Lordship Dick Buckley, who wishes to talk to all of you. And I want to call out Nelson Case. Nelson, you come out, child.
Hello?
His Lordship Dick Buckley. Let's have a hand for His Lordship.
Ladies and gentlemen, we shall enjoy a movement in the spontaneous realm of humor using a very difficult art called mass pantomimicism, the art of voice projection through people, which has its key point in the high inner circle of the circle, hello, of the circle at the very heart of acoustics. Are you there? We shall use these four charming people to demonstrate, and first of all, Her Royal Highness, Lady D. Thousand pleasures. And you, sir, will be kind enough to take the very first chair. Thousand pleasures. Case, old boy, put it in there. Yeah. And you good-looking monster, right there. Sunny side.
Shade with the bad times on red. Oh, baby, I'm not afraid. Bop, chibop, chibop.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the lovely lady and the three gentlemen seated upon the chairs, to these four charming people, I will project four different and distinct voices. Each and every one of them will be given an individual voice to pantomime. They themselves will not say word one, but when they hear the voice aloft to them coming through the microphone, they will move their lips, eyebrows, nose, facial contours, and whatnot in a pantomimic manner, thereby simulating actual speech. Now this handsome rascal here will have the voice of Andy. That's a very deep voice, sir. When you hear that come to the microphone, the result, will be this.
Well, it looks like everything gonna be fine and dandy.
Solid, Jack, you're right on the track. Number two lad here, Lord Case, will have the voice of Brother Crawford, official type. Well, my dear boy, I dare say we'll figure the matter out one way or the other. McNeil, you spun the wheel. Her Highness the Queen will have the voice of Madame Queen, a very high type. I told you, boss, 100 times how I feel about this. Magnificent Lady D. His Lordship here will have the voice of Amos Rossby type when it hits. Well, Jack, you gotta stay on the track. You ain't never gonna get back. Solid match. Now we're going to play Little Theater. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jealousy of America, the first television broadcast, famous in Andy. The time, yes, the summertime, the beautiful, warm, golden summertime of Southern California. They're seated in a lovely Spanish garden in the fabulous San Fernando Valley, and it's sundown in San Fernando, and the moon. Ye gods, that beautiful Southern California moonlight shining right down in their eyes. They're very relaxed. They're looking up into the moonlight, and Andrew is talking.
You know, you can hear a lot of things, Crawfish. But when I hear that old Allie Can done put down 250,000 tomatoes for a boat for Rita,
it's a lot of money for a chick to float around there, I'll tell you that much right now. Well, I'm going to say this, Rita deserves everything she's getting. She's a solid little Brooklyn chick, and she deserves everything she's getting. Baby, you right on the beam with that, John. I swear to goodness. And there ain't nothing I like better than a hip chick. I'm hip, you hip too, Daddy. I'm hip, you're hip, I'm hip, baby. Hip, hip. Must be nice to say to your husband, Daddy, go and get me a bucket full of pearls and have me here about 3 o'clock. Baby, you right, you got something there, you really have. That woman's got to be dreaming, talk to an old man like that. I'm hip, Daddy. I'm hip, you're hip. Hip, hip.
All right. By the way, Crawfish, what's on your mind now, my lad? Well, how you been a-feeling since you've been on the wagon?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, my boy, I've been feeling much better. Much to my surprise, much better indeed. Is it true, Mr. Crawfish, that you don't even take one little drink anymore? No, my dear girl, I never touch it anymore. But I can well remember the time when I would wake up in the morning with a horrible hangover, have a cup of coffee, and like a sucker, I would try a Coca-Cola. That's it. And like a fool, I would have a cigarette. That's it.
I thought for a minute you were going to take off there, Crawfish.
Well, if I hadn't had my flaps down, I might have made it.
Yeah, well, we was going to relax and enjoy this here beautiful moonlight night.
I've never seen such a gorgeous night in all of my life. Stars in the sky. Certainly do make a girl feel romantic this here kind of weather. Baby, say no more, sugar. You know I've been watching you for quite some time, baby doll. These here pretty chicks that don't know even how to lift a golf club bring me down, baby. I'll swear that for sure. Is that the truth, Daddy? Yeah, that's the truth, sugar, and I'm going to tell you something else. What's that, you good-looking little rascal? You is sitting beside the greatest lover that ever lived. Is that the truth, Daddy? That's what the man said. And I'm going to give you the most sensational, supersonic, full-swing kiss that you've ever received in your born days. Mean to say just like they do in the movies, Daddy? That's what I said, baby. Well, come on, Daddy, I'm ready. Well, here I come, baby. Take over, boy. On the lips. Think about it.
John Howard. A separate hand for John Howard here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if Nelson Case has recovered his breath, he is going to have a word to say to the congregation.
For good looks and good going, it's the beautiful new 1949 Mercury. Mercury is the car that gives you performance plus in any situation at any time. Smoother going over those rough backcountry roads. Velvet smooth starts. And now more and more luggage space for those vacation and weekend trips this summer. A handsome, compact instrument panel that places controls right at your fingertips. Soft foam rubber seat cushions are your invitation to the many happy motoring days ahead. And they will be happy days, for nothing has been overlooked to make the road-proven new 1949 Mercury your perfect highway companion. It's the car that Mercury owners all over the country call the smoothest, liveliest, best value car they've ever driven. And it is. Get the full story on Mercury's many advantages from your Mercury dealer, and you'll know why we say, make your next car Mercury.
Thank you, Nelson. Now, as a change of pace in the show, here are the 4 Princeton undergraduates who won the Princeton Quartet competition. I was one of the judges. It was a very attractive picture. Here were 1,500 Princetonians out in the lawn in front of Nassau Hall. These groups came out, and this is the winning group. They call themselves the Palmer Squares. Raymond.
Down in Jungle Town, the honeymoon is coming soon. You can hear that serenade to a pretty little monkey made high up in the tree. A chimpanzee waits there for me. I'll be true to the monkey doodle-doo way down in Jungle Jungle Town. Down in Jungle Town where the animals hang around to celebrate the wedding date of the big baboon and the monkey. And in Jungle Land, the chimpanzee waits there for me. I'll be true to the monkey doodle-doo way down in jungle. All the time, way down in Jungle Town, way down in Jungle Land.
How are you going to sing, boys?
I'd like to sing a couple of football songs.
You like some football songs? Nassau?
Going back, going back, going back to Nassau Hall. Going back to the best old place of all. Going back from all this earthly ball. We'll clear the track as we go back, going back to Nassau Hall. Crash through that line of blue and send the back some round the end. Fight for every yard.
Princeton's honor to defend. Rah, 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 Tiger System Bar, and locomotives by the score. For the fight with the Finn that is dead sure to win for old Nassau, for old Nassau.
Come on, let's have a great big hand for the Wellington Storm. Thank you very, very much. Now you run off and get ready for your finale, will you? Fine. You know, I deliberately held for last an introduction to the audience. I wanted to bring them up on the stage, but actually I don't think I'm going to have enough time, so I'm going to introduce them in the audience and tell you the story about them. The girl just flew over from France. She was sent over here by the veterans of World War I and II of France, headed by Maurice Chevalier. Maurice sent me a cable, and he said, if you'd like to have this stunning French girl appear on your program, Ed, he said it can certainly handle two things at one time, because she brings with her some poppies made by the veterans of France, and they're to be presented to you for the work that you've had a chance to do with performers in military hospitals. She's seated out there. It's her first appearance in this country. Her name is Annie Robineau. So let's give her a tremendous hand, won't you please? Annie Robineau. And seated with her is a very distinguished woman in American Legion affairs in our country. She's the president of the Women's Auxiliary of the American Legion, and it's under their sponsorship that Annie Robineau is here tonight. Her name is Mrs. Hubert Good, and I'd like you all to meet Mrs. Hubert Good. Now, I'm supposed to get into our finale here at, let's see, 53, 51, 52. Annie, would you bring the poppies up on stage, please? Well, let's have a nice hand for this young Good. All right, now these come, and I treasure them deeply. I'm going to turn them over to Actors' Equity to put up on the walls of their clubhouse to remind all American performers of this gift to American performers. Thank you very, very much. Would you like to say?
Je dis que je suis très, très, très contente d'être ici et très heureuse de vous donner ces coquelicots. Voilà.
Did you say that in English?
Well, I said that I'm very happy to be here in New York and to bring you some puppies from Flanders.
Thank you very, very much. Now let's have a nice hand for this young Raymond.
She is more to be pitied than censured. She is more to be helped than despised. She is only a lassie who ventured down life's stormy path, ill-advised, ill-advised. Do not scorn her with words fierce and bitter. Do not laugh at her shame and downfall. For a moment just stop and consider that a man was the cause of it all. That a man was the cause of it all.
adored while the band played on. His brain was so loaded it nearly exploded. The poor girls would shake with alarm. He married the girl with the strawberry curl while the band played on.
That is the show, and I do want you to visit your Lincoln and Mercury dealers to tell them about it. How did you enjoy the show so far? Did you have a good time?
You'll find your dealer's number in your classified phone book. And when you call, be sure to ask for the full story on these two great 1949 automobiles, the 1949 Mercury, the 1949 Lincoln.
It's the toast of the town, the pride and boast of the town, the absolute top, the cream of the crop. On your Lincoln Mercury show. So till next week when we come your way, for each Lincoln Mercury man we say here's a toast from the toast of the town.
Be sure to join us again next week when your Lincoln Mercury dealer presents Toast of the Town. Directed by Alex Leftwich. Produced by CBS in association with Marlo Lewis. Musical director, Ray Block. Dances by John Ray. Costumes by the Brooks Costume Company. Your announcer for Lincoln Mercury, Nelson Case. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.